And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On second and 11 now. Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And third and 8 now. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you know.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Detroit. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you want the final metric on his top speed, and trust me, you do, Next Gen Stats says he hit 22.4 miles an hour. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Kamara on the read option. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Left tackle Eric Fisher, the former Kansas City Chief, the guilty party. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Lions at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. Badgley able to knock this one through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now it's gone. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a there he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Blake did on the last one.
On second down, Swift. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, that's one stuff. We'll see if this defense has another in their back pocket.
And I just wonder on the other side of the ball, do you just challenge the big guys up front? This is short yardage situation. We ought to be able to pick this up. Or do you say to yourself, they are awfully tough. I've got to throw it on this down.
3rd and 2. Gone. Wright's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is Swift on the counter. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Goff. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A very solid gain of 27.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. Complete to right. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here we go.
Kamara gets it again on second down. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Ready.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's taken inside his own 40. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Looking for right, and he finds him. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Goff on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing again is Goff. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the 2nd half gets started. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the 2nd half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies.
Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz it? Do I need to pressure it? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
This is taken at the 18. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. From the 35 on 2nd down, Goff. He's got this to Williams, complete. He's got room at the 30, down to the 10, and in for the Lions touchdown. Jamison Williams, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Tua. They complete it to Hill. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Tua just going to back this forward on the end around. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Final minute now of the third quarter. A 10th carry for Kamara. And some room to work. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll give to Kamara here on the option. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 20-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Jalen Waddle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 21-14. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the 50, it's Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. On 2nd and 12, Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Okay, ready?
This offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, an interception's the result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Goff. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think we're both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Watch out now. Safety zero. Green jack. White blue. Red cycle.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And this is going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now Goff.
St. Brown on the catch.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Goff now to throw.
And that's caught by Williams.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field.
Now it's Goff. Finding Williams once more, complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Here's a handoff to Swift.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Goff.
Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. So